Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. Several months ago, when the movie Skyfall first came out, quite a few of my subscribers asked me if I thought it was prophetic. And although I doubt if the movie producers realized it, yes, the movie is prophetic. Now, when I say that, I don't mean the movie itself gives new prophecy, but rather the storyline follows Bible prophecy. And let me explain. First of all, the actor who plays James Bond looks an awful lot like Vladimir Putin, who is found in the Bible as the last king of the North. Now, you might say that's just an accident, but I doubt it. Vladimir Putin is a very macho public figure. For example, the movie producers would never pick someone who looks like David Cameron or Tony Blair to play James Bond. Secondly, the lyrics to the title song have a double meaning. They could be prophetic of the end times. It starts out, "This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move. And then feel my heart burst again." That is all very violent end times imagery. It could come right out of the book of Revelation. And the singer Adele goes on, "Let the sky fall when it crumbles." Now that sounds like nuclear warfare to me. And the lyrics of the song continue talking about when worlds collide and days are dark. You can have my number, you can have my name. That could refer to, of course, the mark of the beast. But I think even more interesting is that the hero of the movie, James Bond, allows 3 innocent people to die. And I believe that this is very reflective of Bible prophecy about the bear in Daniel. First of all, James Bond allows a businessman to be shot through an office window by the assassin. And you say, well, how could he stop it? Well, in a few moments later, James Bond saves himself and attacks the assassin and kills him. Secondly, the innocent girl is killed by the antagonist. And you might say, well, how could Bond stop that? Well, a few seconds later, he does stop the situation. He takes the upper hand and he confronts the antagonist. Why didn't he do that before the girl was killed? And at the end, of course, M, his boss, is killed, whereas Bond, a few seconds later, kills the antagonist. So, could this reflect the bear in Daniel with 3 ribs in its mouth? In other words, the bear symbolizes Russia, and I suggest that James Bond, in these instances, is reflecting Putin, the last king of the North. I think it's also very interesting where the antagonist asks James Bond what his game is, and he says, resurrection. Well, of course, one of the things that the 7th beast does in the book of Revelation is die and come back to life. And of course, that's what happens to James Bond in this movie Skyfall. In the book of Revelation, the 7th beast represents international communism. The beast that was and is not. Is not refers to the so-called collapse of the Soviet Union. And of course, this 7th beast, after it collapses, is revived as the 8th and final beast, the one world communist tyranny. Could James Bond, in the movie Skyfall, dying and coming back to life, reflect what happens to communism in the book of Revelation? So I'm not sure if the movie producers wanted to make a prophetic movie, but it's very interesting that the whole plot revolves around Bond being killed and coming back to life, and that the lyrics of the song are about the end. So whether they meant it or not, the movie does reflect true Bible prophecy, especially about the last king of the north who I believe is Vladimir Putin, and the seventh and eighth beasts of Revelation, which refer to the communist empire, which will soon take over the entire planet. And I am currently offering a free bumper sticker. If any of you are interested, simply send me a self-addressed stamped business-sized envelope, and I will send you one of these bumper stickers.